Namaskar and welcome to Pradipta's Musings. Today I am going to read out a very important article which has been authored by the most revered 17th President of Ramakrishna Math and Mission Worldwide, Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj. It's on holistic health, and this article first appeared in Vedanta Kesari, the magazine published by Ramakrishna Math and Mission from Chennai, and it is now available in the book Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, New Thoughts on Health. This is the book. It is available on Amazon portal. This article I found very important, and I think it will be very helpful for everyone, as because healthy mind and healthy body, these are essential prerequisites to fulfill the aspirations not only in worldly life but also to meet our spiritual goals. Holistic Health by Swami Gautamananda. In the scramble for appropriate technologies, everything, including modern healthcare, its goal and practice is being questioned. The World Health Organization defines health as a state of physical, mental and social well-being, not merely an absence of diseases or infirmity. Really speaking, health is not a state but continuous adjustment to the changing demands of life and environment. Positive health implies perfect functioning of body and mind in a given social milieu. Thus, holistic healthcare recognizes the effect of social, economic, environmental and even political influences on health. Therefore, the World Health Organization, in its drive for health for all by 2000, proposes to spread health services that are relevant, effective, acceptable and affordable in terms of needs, culture and resources of each community of the world. Till now, strangely, only allopathic medicine was considered scientific, and other indigenous systems, though based on empirical knowledge, were labelled quackery. Ideas have changed due to scramble for appropriate technologies referred to at the outset of this article. Therefore, interest in alternative medicines and medical care system is growing in the West. Ayurveda is being studied deeply. Homeopathy is already being practiced even by allopathic doctors. Psychotherapy, hypnotism, yoga therapy, yogic pranayama and asanas etc. are vying for their own place. Everything seems to be tending towards holistic medicine in accordance with the concept of holistic health. For medicine to be holistic, it should be universally applicable, cover all aspects of health, that is physical, mental, social and spiritual. Some Indian doctors have conceived of holistic medicine on the basis of the Vedantic Pancha Kosha, 5 sheets, that is physical body, vital movements, mental thoughts, intellectual convictions and emotional feelings, which cover as it were each individual soul. Holistic health concept in Vedas. There are several mantras in the Vedas where the goal of medicine is described as the removal of cause of death, conferring of long life, purifying thoughts and actions, removal of the cause of diseases and ensuring the well-being of body and soul. Ayurveda, which is called a part of the Vedas, that is Vedanga, is attributed to the sage Bharadwaja 5000 BC. It has a holistic concept of medicare and healthcare and was very popular, being taught even to foreign students in the universities of Taxila, Nalanda and Varanasi during AD 500 to 600. After a decline during medieval period, it is again gaining popularity after the independence of India in 1947. Ayurveda defines health as swasthya, to be one's own spiritual self. It is the state of equilibrium of the 3 principles of air, that is vata, bile, that is pitta and phlegm or kapha, along with a contented state of senses, mind and soul. Charaka from AD 500 to 600, the renowned Ayurveda physician defined health as an equipoised state of body, mind, sense organs and soul. This was to him the state of ease. Contrary to this was dis-ease. Keeping in view the relationship existing between the individual and nature, Ayurveda advocated the following to maintain health and prevent diseases. A daily routine of rising early, exercises, bathing, oil massage, gargling and regulated sleep. This must be properly coordinated with the changing seasons. A value-based life was therefore advocated as essential for good health. That an idea of the mental state, antaratma, of the patient is very essential in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases was very much recognized by Ayurveda as follows. The doctor who does not find out the inner state of the mind of the patient by the light of his knowledge cannot find out the disease. Thus, we find that the concept of holistic health is a very old one in India. Only it got lost in our days of the spectacular developments in Western medical science since the last century. Curative medicines have attempted removing diseases from individuals. Specializations and micro-specializations have made medical care very efficient but at the same time unaffordable economically to the common man. This last factor is a negative point as far as holistic medicine concept is concerned. Maintenance of health through preventive medicines is another branch which has helped human society to very nearly get rid of diseases like smallpox, blindness, goiter, plague, malaria, etc. Consumerism in Medicare. In the euphoria about the above progress, one should not forget another dreadful factor that has vitiated the medical care. The consumerism in Medicare prescriptions of endless investigations and medicines ostensibly to satisfy the needs of the patient but really to fulfill the greed of the doctors and manufacturers. This has caused great harm to the patient-doctor relationship. It has caused great suffering to poor patients. Even in advanced countries, people shudder to fall sick. Recently, an Indian tourist had to shell out some 15,000 rupees as medical insurance coverage of his health for just a 2-month period in USA. Add to this the faulty planning by the administration in our country where 80% of health expenditure is made on 20% urban population and 20% of expenditure on 80% of rural population, and the picture of misery of our poor rural masses is complete. Need of the poor. For medicine to be holistic, we have already said that it should be universally applicable, cover all aspects of health, that is physical, mental, social and spiritual. It should also be economically suitable to the common man's purse. Its establishment, buildings and personnel should fit with the common man's cultural milieu. We are sorry to say that the present day urban hospital establishments are frightening and alienating our villagers more than serving them as a shelter in need. Here we may note what some medical men have to say. In a developing country like India, the fortunate urban elite have access to almost any highly sophisticated technology either in the capital or abroad, while many of the rural poor have no modern medical health care whatever. Swami Vivekananda and health. Swami Vivekananda said, "Serve every person as God." This concept alone can bring a revolutionary change in our attitudes in Medicare. This concept pleads with our doctors and their assistants to consider treatment of their patients as service of God Himself. They would be making their profession itself a spiritual practice, through which great spiritual graces like peace, sympathy, love, freedom and fearlessness can flow. Swamiji also advocated a regime for healthy food, balanced, nutritious, small quantities taken in several intervals like the Japanese do. He also expressed his opinion clearly on the vegetarian and non-vegetarian food as a health aid, so long as there will be in human society such a thing as the triumph of the strong over the weak. Animal food is required or some other substitute. Otherwise, the weak will naturally be crushed under the feet of the strong. Swamiji also dealt with the genetic cause for the poor physical health of Indians. He said that endogamic marriages within a caste, and early marriages were the cause of weak national physique. He further said, there is, for example, a good reason for intermarriage in India, in the absence of which the race is becoming physically weaker day by day. Priority to the poor. It is a pity to see our imitation of the West even in our medical care. We require real courage to resist the materialistic illusion the Westerners have created. In India, our resources are scarce, so we must turn our care more to the poor millions than to the well-to-do, who have other resources to help them. A sound health education of the masses would be the sure way to improve our national health. The last but not the least would be to encourage the spirituality latent in everyone to assert itself, which can work wonders even in Medicare. Latent powers in the patient. Even today, one can observe in tribal societies that faith in some rites and rituals, chants and talismans with some indigenous herbal medicines cure many of their ailments. Under extreme stressful conditions, some doctors who believe in spirituality themselves pray for the patients, which gives a psychological resilience to the sufferer. In the life of Holy Mother Sarada Devi, we find many patients having strong faith getting cured by the use or application of the mud from the temple of Simhavahini in Jairambati, West Bengal. Many cases of cure of snake bites with the help of this earth have been recorded. It is now well known that therapeutic yoga is curing many stress-borne diseases like asthma, high BP, peptic ulcer, nervous diseases, etc. with very little help from herbal and other medicines, but mainly by rousing the vital power through pranayama, the faith power through rhythmic chanting of well-known mantras, and through yogasana exercises which strengthen not only the muscles but also tone up the nerves and the endocrinal glands, which help health restoration marvelously. Music therapy is another new aid becoming popular as a help to holistic Medicare. Professor Dr. B.N. Manjula, Assistant Professor of Psychiatry, NIMHANS, Bangalore, reports that the music therapy reduced to a great extent the mental disorder of the famous mathematical prodigy Vasisht Narayan at the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences. Many other scientists like Dr. E.S. Krishnamurthy, neurologist and psychiatrist Sri Rama Bharati, etc., also certify the efficacy of certain musical notes of Carnatic music acting powerfully on some mental and neurotic patients to reduce their suffering. It was Plato who said, "No attempt should be made to cure the body without treating the soul." Louis Pasteur, the great French scientist, said, "Blessed is he who carries within himself God, an ideal beauty, for therein lies springs of great thought and great action." This brings us to the topic of harnessing spirituality in the scheme of holistic healthcare. Swami Vivekananda believed that spiritual ideas help cure diseases. He said, "Even the poison of a snake is powerless if you can firmly deny it." In another context, he said, "Why are Baburam and Yogen suffering so much? Tell them to meditate for an hour at a stretch. I am the Atman. How can I be affected by disease? And everything will vanish." Conclusion. We thus see that a search for universal systems and practices for human health and cure from every available source, irrespective of its labels, like this system or that system of medicine, is in progress. Here we cannot overlook another major factor contributing greatly to holistic health, that is the influence of good character, called also as righteous conduct or value-based life. This rests on the four important values of truth, which includes honesty, simplicity, etc., purity, which includes a controlled sex life and the sublimation of sexual energies through spiritual channels of philanthropy, selfless service, perfection in all activities, etc. Faith in one's own divine self, the repository of the infinite knowledge, bliss and life, and fearlessness. A little deliberation will reveal how every one of these values can contribute to the elimination of tensions, stresses, complexes, perversions and what not from our private and public life. Thus we see that along with any education of healthcare and Medicare, we have also to impart the importance of the above fundamental values of life. Then alone can holistic healthcare yield results that will last long from generation to generation with ease. So this is a very useful and very important article which has been authored by Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj on holistic healthcare. He has stressed on the point that not only modern medical system, which is allopathy, is important, along with that there should be a combination of other alternative therapies like Ayurveda, homeopathy, etc., and yoga and other holistic ways of living should be incorporated in our lives so as to live with a healthy body and a healthy mind. I hope this article will be useful to you all, whoever will be listening to this readout in this video. Wish you all happiness, prosperity, good health and peace. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.